The scream cut through the house like a knife tearing silk. "You're not my real dad, so stop pretending you are." Lily's voice, sharp and venomous, ricocheted off the kitchen tiles. Her eyes blazed with fury I'd never seen in all her 16 years. I froze where I stood, a half-peeled potato in one hand, the peeler trembling in the other. The air thickened, heavy, waiting for me to break. I had raised Lily since she was 4, after her mother, Claire, and I married beneath the branches of a willow tree. I'd kissed scraped knees, cheered from the sidelines at soccer games, and tucked her in with bedtime stories of knights and dragons. By the time she was 6, she was calling me Dad, her tiny hand gripping mine as we crossed the street. Now her words sliced a hole straight through me, leaving my heart raw and bleeding across the kitchen floor. Claire stood at the sink, her back to us, scrubbing a pan with mechanical precision. She hadn't said a word since the argument began. Since I'd asked why she kept coming home late, why her phone was always on silent, why she smelled a perfume I didn't recognize. Those questions had been piling up for months, splinters under my skin. She laughed them off, her smile too bright, her excuses too neat. "Work's crazy," or "You're imagining things, Matt." But tonight, Lily's outburst wasn't about her mother's late nights. It was about me, the man who had loved her like she was my own. "Lily, you don't mean that," I said quietly, my voice pleading. I set the potato on the counter, the peeler clattering beside it. Her face twisted, mascara streaked down her cheeks. "I do. You're not my dad. You don't get to tell me what to do." She stormed off, her bedroom door slamming so hard the whole house shook. Claire didn't move. The faucet kept running, hissing into the silence. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling fan's slow spin. Claire slept beside me, her body turned away, her breathing steady. My mind replayed the past few months, her sudden business trips, her locked phone, the faint scent of cologne on her scarf. I told myself it was nothing, that love meant trust, that suspicion was its own kind of betrayal. But doubt had already taken root. The next morning, the truth found me. Claire had left her laptop open, a mistake she rarely made. An email notification flashed. "Miss you already. Same time tomorrow." The name was unfamiliar, but the words were intimate, unguarded. My chest tightened as I opened her inbox. Each message was another brick in a wall I couldn't tear down. Words like love and can't wait burned into my eyes. Then photos, her smiling at a restaurant I didn't know, his arm draped around her waist. I sat there numb, watching the life I'd built crumble around me. When Claire walked in later, I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just turned the screen toward her. Her face went pale, lips parting as if to speak, but nothing came. "Why?" I whispered. She sank onto the couch, twisting her hands in her lap. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said at last. "It was a mistake, a moment of weakness." Her eyes darted away. "He listens to me, Matt. He sees me. And you don't." Her voice carried confession, but no apology. She wasn't sorry for him. She was only sorry I'd caught her. That night, I packed a bag. Lily's words still echoed in my ears, the wound still fresh and bleeding. I knocked on her door, hoping for what? An apology? A hug? She cracked it open, eyes red but defiant. "I meant what I said," she muttered. "You're not my dad." I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. "Okay, Lily, I'll stop." And I left. The click of the door behind me sounded as final as a gunshot. The next year blurred into motel rooms and greasy takeout. Eventually, I got a small apartment, bare walls, a view of a parking lot. I worked. I ate. I slept, but I didn't really live. Claire's betrayal haunted me, but Lily's words were the knife that never stopped twisting. I had loved her as my own, and she had thrown that love back at me. I stopped calling, stopped texting. She wanted me gone, and so I never heard from Claire again, not directly. Through mutual friends, I learned she was still with him, the man from the emails. They had moved in together. Lily was struggling, acting out, slipping at school. I buried the updates under work and whiskey, but at night, when silence pressed in, I saw her face. Her 4-year-old smile, her 6-year-old giggle, her 16-year-old rage. Then, 1 year to the day after I left, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "It's Lily. Can we talk?" My heart lurched. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. Part of me wanted to delete it, to keep the wall intact. But another part, the part that still loved her, typed back, "Okay, we met at a diner. The kind with sticky tables and burnt coffee." She slid into the booth across from me, looking thinner. Her hair dyed black, exhaustion etched into her face. She fidgeted with a napkin. "I'm sorry," she said softly, "for what I said, for everything." Tears welled, and she wiped them away angrily. "Mom's a mess. She's with that guy, and he's not you." I listened as she poured herself out. Claire's affair hadn't ended. It had consumed her. The man had turned controlling, dismissive. Lily felt abandoned, caught in the fallout of her mother's choices. "I didn't mean it," she whispered. "You were my dad. You still are." The words crashed over me like a wave. I wanted to reach across the table, to pull her into my arms like I used her when she was little. But I couldn't. Not yet. "Lily," I said, steady despite the ache, "I never stopped loving you, but you told me to stop being your dad. So I did." Her face crumpled. She nodded, as if she deserved the pain. "I know. I need you. Please." She reached for my hand, her fingers trembling. I looked at her, the girl who wasn't mine by blood, but was mine in every way that mattered. The diner buzzed around us. Clinking plates, quiet conversations, the hiss of the coffee machine. Rain streaked the windows, blurring the world outside. I squeezed her hand once. "I'm here," I said. It wasn't full forgiveness. It wasn't a promise to fix everything. But it was something. Enough for now. She cried, and I let her. The weight of a year lifting and pressing down all at once. I had stopped being her father because she asked me to, but the truth was she had never stopped needing me. And maybe, just maybe, I had never stopped needing her either.